How's it going, everybody? There's been a really interesting development in the YouTube world that I'm sure many of you have already heard of. YouTube has announced that they're going to be targeting extremist content and supremacist content, even to the extent that even when videos don't violate their terms of service, they're still going to implement some action. Now, I went to an event years ago with YouTube because it was a serious concern that terrorists and extremists use the platform for recruitment. And YouTube was trying to figure out, how do we deal with extremism without stepping on free speech? And it's a serious challenge. And I will say, they really do have a problem. There's a lot of propaganda, and I'm not talking about just regular political content. There's like real extreme stuff and terror. This has caused a lot of problems for everyone, because it's not just about whether or not terrorists are recruiting, it's about advertising. One of the aspects of the adpocalypse, when everyone started losing ad revenue, was that people's ads, these companies, were having their ads appear on extremist and terrorist content. This is the next step in YouTube trying to figure out how to deal with the problem. The problem with what they're doing is that they're partnering with left-leaning groups like, for instance, the Anti-Defamation League. And I don't want to get too much into this because this video really is about something else, but before I get started, I want to say, the Anti-Defamation League, its defamation is in the title. Their existence is based on dealing with hate speech. And so there is a lot of concern amongst people. Red flags have been raised because the Anti-Defamation League, like any other company, has to justify its existence. And so if we are allowing the Anti-Defamation League not just to say like, hey, these are the things we think are hate speech, but to actually start assisting in the policing of content, then there is a risk, and I'm not the one, someone else brought this up, a big YouTuber mentioned this, and it's very interesting, that the Anti-Defamation League might want to justify their existence. But YouTube has a news problem for another reason, and I wanted to use this opportunity to segue into some of the problems YouTube has. For one, they've never encouraged news producers, they have never encouraged news creators. I have been having meetings with YouTube, with the Google teams, for years now, about how to do news on their platform. The other day, I was digging through YouTube trying to find people who do real reporting on the ground and investigative reporting on YouTube, and it is damn near impossible. 99+%, right? I'm pulling that number out of my ass. But a good majority of all news is commentary, right? How many people actually do on the ground reporting, and how much of it is good? That's the huge challenge. When I look at how YouTube deals with the entertainment culture, with media, with prank videos, you can see that there are big YouTubers who get featured in the YouTube spotlight in different YouTube brackets. Some of the most subscribed to playlists or channels, whatever you want to call them, are YouTube curated channels, right? You can look at music and gaming, sports, whatever, and there's a news section. Well, what happens when you go to the news section? You see ABC, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Daily News. These are big news organizations that don't even use YouTube, right? Look how many views they have, 700, there's less than 1,000, a couple hundred here and there, because these companies don't care. They've never cared, and they're probably not going to start caring. The content that these news companies make does not work for YouTube, right? I'm talking to you right now, and ironically complaining about commentary while making a commentary video. We'll get to that later. But one of the issues is, and I bring this up, is that YouTube is not putting news creators in their news section. They're putting big companies that don't even use the platform in any meaningful way. So if they're not, so it's a catch-22. Why would there be a community of independent news creators who do real reporting, real investigations, on-the-ground work, as well as commentary? Why would that flourish if YouTube doesn't even encourage it, right? If they're going to promote big mainstream news brands? Well, the reality is it's not. There has been growth from a lot of news creators, and I will say I'm very thankful that someone like Philip DeFranco has been on the platform as long as he has, because I think he does a great job, and not even just in YouTube terms, in terms of mainstream media news and commentary, I think he's one of the best, whatever you want to call it, pundit or commentators. YouTube has an algorithm, and everyone's always trying to figure out how this algorithm works. There's the Game Theory channel, which regularly has great breakdowns of what they think is happening. There's Frederator Networks, which published this paper a while ago explaining the algorithm, the best times to post, and what they think is going on. So here's at least my general understanding, and it could be wrong. Let's say I put out a video called chocolate ice cream, and all of my subscribers go, wow, I really like chocolate ice cream. They click my video and they watch it. They told the YouTube algorithm, hey, this is a good video. But the next day I do a video called spinach ice cream. Well, nobody in their right mind wants to watch a video about spinach ice cream, so they don't click it. It doesn't mean they don't like me. It doesn't mean they're not interested in content I might make in the future. But they've just told the algorithm that, hey, this other video this guy made is not so good. People have subscribed to hundreds of channels, and not every video can appear in your feed. So there's a dilution happening, there's market saturation. Apparently, YouTube's trying to figure out how to make sure that even if you subscribe, they're only showing you things you actually engage with. So the channels that end up doing really, really well are like the Hot Knife channel, or Will It Blend, or the Hydraulic Press channel. Because you know, whenever a video is posted, it's the same thing. You know exactly what you're gonna get. So if someone says, hey, we're gonna crush stuff, you're like, I like watching stuff get crushed, you click it. The next day, we're crushing stuff again, and you go, I do like watching stuff get crushed, so you click it again. You keep telling the YouTube algorithm that, hey, these videos are good, and we're gonna keep watching it. But what happens with news? Well, I'll do a video about biohacking, which is a very specific and esoteric concept that a lot of people don't know anything about. And most people are gonna say, I don't know anything about that, and they're not gonna click it. Thus telling the YouTube algorithm, hey, this channel's not producing consistently good content. And what ends up happening is that people who are subscribed to me stop seeing my videos, and you get what's called subscriber burnout. So my goal has always been make a channel that's Tim Pool, right? The name on the channel is Tim Pool, it's me, you know every video has me in it. So I get a lot of people, around 10% every day of my subscribers watching a video saying, I wonder what Tim's doing today. And then other videos, I get a mix of people saying, that's a topic I'm interested in. Ooh, Tim's talking about a topic I care about. So I try to mix it up and make sure there is a through line. But ultimately, when it comes to doing news, first, people are generally not that interested in news. So here's what happens outside of me and my channel, right? Is someone going to click a general news story, today in Syria, breaking news? Probably not, unless they just specifically care about Syria. But there are individuals on YouTube who are very hyperbolic, who are very partisan and extreme, and you probably know many of them. And you know that if you watch their video, you're gonna get some snarky, condescending attack on your ideological enemy. And that is something that's emotionally satisfying regardless of what the news is. It's why opinion and punditry works so well. The more you click these videos, the more YouTube says, hey, show these videos to more people, people like it. But what about a boring video about biohacking, where I talk with an expert the average person doesn't know, about concepts they've probably never heard of? You know, I get it. I'm trying to make you eat your vegetables, but when given the choice, people are gonna go for that chocolate ice cream. Now I'm gonna wrap this all back up. The point of all of this is that, to reiterate, the average person's gonna click something entertaining. A prank video, a new movie trailer, or hyper-partisan content that satisfies their emotions. They're not gonna eat their vegetables, unless someone tells them they need to. And this is where I go back to YouTube only promoting big organizations that don't even care about the platform. If YouTube isn't going to highlight actual news creators, people who are telling the truth and going on the ground and reporting, well then, people are never gonna see it. Because they're only gonna click things they like. They're only gonna click things that make them feel good or trigger some kind of emotional response, some kind of justice or shenanigans. And this creates a never-ending cycle of doom for news creators. Because then YouTube looks at what's successful, and they say, prank videos and vlogs do really, really well. What about news? News has never done well. Okay, let's invest money into YouTube Red, where we take a bunch of already successful YouTubers and give them a larger platform so we can make money. News needs to be subsidized, unfortunately. I don't think when YouTube is targeting these extremist videos and whatever, I don't think pushing down content is the answer. I think bringing up content is the answer. And we need to realize that there is value to society in journalism. I don't care if YouTube thinks I'm good or I suck. I don't care if they promote me or anyone else. I just hope that they actually highlight important topics from good creators that are balanced and newsworthy. I just hope that their news channel starts bringing in actual YouTubers who make news, predominantly people who report on the ground. And although people still might not care, at least when they see that Logan Paul vlog about how he's playing video games or God knows what, at some point on the front page they'll see like, hey, these are important things that you should probably consider. The bottom line is, regardless of the rules implemented by YouTube, we just need to figure out how to best move within them to make sure we do a good job and we reach the largest audience. YouTube does not need to promote me or anyone else. They can do whatever the hell they want. They can make their whole platform the Logan Paul Casey channel, and I will still just do my best to figure out how to get my message out there. It'd certainly be nice if they helped subsidize important topics. But then the question becomes political. Who's talking about the right thing? I have no idea. But let me know what you think. Comment below. I criticize commentary videos in a commentary video. How funny am I? Click the like button if you like the video. Subscribe for new videos every day at 4 p.m. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Timcast. I've got some trips coming up. So I believe there's something happening in Charlottesville that I'm looking into, but you know, we'll see if I hit that up. And there's a bunch of these free speech rallies planned for August that I'll do my best to get to. We'll see. I mean, depends on how important this is for humanity, I guess. And you know, so maybe I'll check it out. I'm still looking into it. If you want to support the work that I do, go to timcast.com/donate and give me all of your money. Just click that button and just donate all of it straight to me, and then I'll go and travel around making videos. Now, give whatever you'd like, or give nothing at all. My videos will always be free and available every day at 4 p.m. Thank you all so much for watching. I gotta be honest, I could talk about this a lot longer. I'm cutting it short. So, I'll see you tomorrow.